Hi everyone, welcome back to my Elden Ring series where I make a build for every melee weapon in the game. In this episode, I'll be covering the Lazuli Glintstone Sword. This is a straight sword that requires 8 strength, 9 dexterity, and 13 intelligence to wield, scaling mostly with strength and intelligence. It can be acquired as a drop from the Lazuli sorcerers who wield them, the best farming spot being right next to the schoolhouse classroom in Raya Lucaria. It comes fixed with the Glintstone Pebble skill, which allows us to cast a magic bullet and follow up with a lunging attack. For this build, I decided to two-hand our sword to take advantage of bonus strength scaling, because believe me when I say, this weapon needs all the extra damage it can get. I was extremely disappointed with how awful this sword performs even with optimized stats. I guess I shouldn't have been surprised since this sword is literally made of wood. The only semi-good thing I will say about this sword is that it has a unique heavy attack where you block with the sword while charging your attack. This is a really cool idea, but I personally think this is a pretty bad choice for a weapon to put it on, considering that straight sword blocks get terrible guard boost and damage negation. I would have much rather seen this unique property put on something like a colossal sword or other colossal weapon. Regardless, I did have a fun time utilizing this ability with this build. Even though it's frustrating at times, at least it was something new and different for me. In my experience, I found the best way to use the blocking heavy attacks, if you can help it, is when enemies are about to launch a rather weak attack, like a common soldier light attack, or generally anything that's quick and not some comically delayed mega smash. That way we will take less chip damage and are less likely to have our stamina bar depleted from the block. Plus, the fact that we are starting our attack before our enemy finishes theirs means we effectively have much longer attack windows than we usually do. When we are low on stamina or for heavier hitting enemy attacks, I would definitely recommend just dodging normally, as our measly wooden sword will not be able to handle it. I also like to use our Glintstone Pebble skill and lunge attack to close the gap at the beginning of fights and to keep up the pressure when enemies move out of melee range. You could also use a staff to take advantage of sorceries if you wanted with this build. It's not a bad idea, especially since the sword itself is so weak, but just keep in mind we aren't fully optimized for spell damage since this is not a pure intelligence build. Speaking of stats, at level 150 I have 60 vigor, 16 mind, 23 endurance, 52 strength, 10 dex, 48 intelligence, and 10 faith and arcane. High vigor is important here since we are going to be up close in most fights, and when we block attacks we will take sizable chip damage. Mind is not super important since Glintstone Pebble has a very cheap FP cost, but I still have enough to spam it if I want. Endurance is pretty important, especially if you plan on using the blocking heavies, so really no amount is too high. My damage stats are split fairly equally between strength and intelligence due to the inherent scaling of our weapon. The two-hand strength bonus effectively means our strength soft cap becomes 54, so we get a huge benefit from two-handing. For my armor, it felt appropriate to go for a battle mage look to fit the theme of the weapon. I'm using the Haima Glintstone Crown, which is especially useful here since it gives us 2 extra points in both strength and intelligence at the cost of less total FP, so I think this is a perfect helmet for strength int builds. I also have the matching Battle Mage robes, as well as the Consort's greaves and Spellblade gloves. These gloves also give us a small boost to the damage of our Glintstone Pebble skill. For my talisman lineup, I focus on improving our unique heavy attacks. I have the two-handed sword talisman for a damage boost while two-handing, the Great Shield talisman, which gives us better guard boost while using our blocking heavy attacks, and the axe talisman to make our charged attacks do even more damage. And finally, I have the Dragon Crest Great Shield for more defense, which always helps. For the Flask of Wondrous Physic, I am using the Green Burst Crystal tier for more stamina regeneration, which is crucial for blocking, as well as the Opaline Hard tier for even more defense. And that's it for this Lazuli Glintstone Sword build video. I would not recommend using this weapon. Here's an overview of our setup. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.